Imagine waking up one morning and finding out that every ocean, sea, and lake on Earth had turned into sparkling soda. At first glance, it might seem like the most exciting and delicious event in human history. The waves would fizz and pop as millions of bubbles danced in the sunlight, creating a constant, soft, hissing sound across the planet. The smell of sweetness would drift inland, carried by the wind, making every coastal city smell like a candy shop. Children would rush to the beaches with cups and bottles, eager to taste the new ocean. The surface would sparkle like diamonds, and sunsets would glow even brighter as the orange and red light refracted through the caramel-colored waves. But it wouldn't take long for the problems to begin. Soda contains sugar and acids, lots of them. For marine life, this would be catastrophic. Fish, whales, dolphins, and coral reefs are adapted to live in clean salt water, not a sugary, acidic drink. Within hours, many species would struggle to breathe, and entire ecosystems would collapse. The oceans, once teeming with life, would become vast, carbonated deserts. The smell of sweetness would soon be replaced by the sour odor of decay, as billions of dead sea creatures washed ashore. For humans, the situation would be equally troubling. Soda is sticky and evaporates more slowly than water. Over time, the coastlines would become coated in a sugary film, attracting swarms of insects. The sticky air would cling to your skin, making every breeze feel like it carried invisible syrup. And without fresh, clean water in the oceans, the water cycle would break. Rain would no longer be pure. Instead, it would be a diluted sugary drizzle that would harm crops and soil. Drinking water supplies would quickly run out unless they were stored underground. Transportation across the oceans would also become dangerous. Soda is denser and more corrosive than seawater, which would damage ship hulls faster. The carbonation would make the surface choppier and unpredictable, and storms would whip the sticky liquid into giant foamy waves. Airplanes flying over the oceans might experience more turbulence due to the strange way carbon dioxide evaporates into the atmosphere. On a global scale, the climate would shift dramatically. Oceans play a crucial role in regulating temperature and absorbing carbon dioxide. With soda instead of water, heat would be trapped more easily, and the fizzing oceans would constantly release more CO2 into the air, accelerating global warming. Ice caps might melt faster, and extreme weather events would become more common. In just a few months, Earth would be unrecognizable. The novelty of oceans made of soda would fade quickly as the planet became hotter, stickier, and emptier of life. Cities would be abandoned as insects overran the coastlines. Farmers would struggle to grow food in the altered climate, and humanity would have to focus all its efforts on building massive purification systems to turn the soda back into drinkable water. In the end, the dream of endless fizzy drinks would turn into a nightmare of survival. It would be a lesson in how something sweet can become dangerous when it replaces what nature intended. The oceans are perfect the way they are, vast, salty, and full of life. And maybe, just maybe, that's something we should never try to change. If you want, I can now write 20 detailed visual prompts for this story, so it's ready for animation.